Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 1.17 changelog world. In this tour, I'm going to show you around the 1.17 changelog world, showing you everything that is new in the 1.17 update. Along the way, we will also see some changes that may have happened, and we will discuss what we think about this new update. So let's begin in the Amethyst Geode. Here we are in the Amethyst Geode, where we're going to be going over many different things that you can find in this geode. First, let's start with the smooth basalt. The smooth basalt is the outermost block in the Amethyst Geode. This block can only be found here on the outermost layer, or can be smelted by smelting basalt. This is a very cool block, and it is found on the outermost layer of the geode. Next, we have calcite, in the center layer, as you could say. This layer is found between smooth basalt and block of amethyst. This is a block of amethyst, this is smooth basalt, and this is calcite. Calcite can only be found in the middle of an amethyst geode. Next we have the block of amethyst. This little musical block can be found in amethyst geodes, or can be crafted from amethyst shards, which you also find in the amethyst geode. Very musical. You craft it by 4 amethyst shards, like this, you get a block of amethyst. And you can get amethyst shards right up there. But first, let's talk about this. Here we have the budding amethyst. This block here is where amethyst buds grow out of. This right here would be stage 2 of the amethyst bud process. This would be stage 1, and this is the final stage, where it's then called the amethyst cluster. When you mine this, you could get multiple amethyst shards depending on your level of fortune. This is an amethyst shard. It is also used to craft the block of amethyst, and it is also used to craft the spyglass, but we'll talk about that a little later, as well as tinted glass. Again, later. But this world really is beautiful, and now that we've finished that, let's move on to the next feature in the 1.17 update. Next we have the Azalea Plant. The Azalea Plant is a very beautiful plant that again can be found by mossing stone. You have the flowering variation and the regular variation. These are actually recognized by the game as flowers, and such bees can pollinate off of them. These can be found by bone mealing moss, as well as these. Now that we've done that, let's move on to copper. Here we have copper. Copper is a very new block, and it's the only new ore in the game. It is found in the natural generation as normal in deep slate. We will talk about this in a bit, but this is what the new copper ore looks like. You smelt it, you get copper ingot, and then this is the variations of the copper. This is what you do with copper. You make the copper block, and then you cut the copper block to make these stair variations. So you have the normal copper, and then the cut copper stairs, and the cut copper slab. But then we have weathered versions. This is slightly weathered cut copper, weathered copper, and oxidized copper. These are very cool, and are what happens in real life, and that is why the Statue of Liberty is green, because it turned from this beautiful bronze color to green over oxidation. That's how copper works. And then on the bottom here we have the copper blocks. They make this sound as you walk on them. Very nice. And now let's move on to some ore changes. Here we have ore changes. We have variations of ore, deep slate and regular, with new textures. Here's the coal texture. This is exclusive to 1.17, this deep slate version. Then we have iron, which now drops raw, copper, which drops raw, gold, which now drops raw, redstone, emerald, this emerald is exclusive to 1.17, lapis, and diamond. The reason that emerald and coal is exclusive to the 1.17 update is due to the fact that world generation and world ore spawns in 1.18, when we get the new world generation changes, these will only be available in this update, because these will not go into Deep Slate in 1.18, but in 1.17 we haven't changed our ore generation yet, so these can be found still at the bottom of the world in Deep Slate patches. Talk about Deep Slate patches a little later. And this is what I mean by raw. We have raw iron, raw copper, and raw gold. Raw iron is mined when you get iron, and you can fortune iron now, as well as copper and gold. You can fortune these ores now, and when you drop it, you just smelt this like any other ore, and you can also make blocks out of it. They're kind of cool, kind of shiny. But that's the ore changes. Let's move on to candles. Here we have candles in many different variations, as well as being lit. We have many different colors of candles, so let's name them now. Regular, white, orange, purple, blue, yellow, lime, pink, light gray, cyan, magenta, blue, brown, green, red, and black. And you can also put candles on cake, so you can have a birthday cake now. And you can light these candles on fire with a flint of steel. As you can see, you just right click them with a flint of steel and they light on fire. Just be careful not to light the environment on fire. Those were candles. They're very beautiful. They were originally not going to be in this update, but they decided to bring them back. Again, we will not be talking about features that were removed. Again, that was the world generation and sculk sensors and bundles. Those were all removed from the game and will be in 1.18, so we will not be talking about those in the 1.17 changelog. You can still obtain them, but we're not going to talk about them. Next, we have cave vines, or glowberries. Glowberries are this cool little plant here that also will harvest glowberries for you. They are here. I'm just going to break this quickly, and then you can plant glowberries like this, and it will grow glowberries. And I will give you an example of how to find these right now in the 1.17 update. Now, currently in the 1.17 update, we do not have the Lush Caves biome, which is where you'll be able to find these eventually. So right now we have to use mineshaft chests. Here in the mineshaft chest is an example of glowberries. You'll find these in the world. You can then make cave vines from them. And they also have a light level. Very cool. So this is how you find them. I believe it's about a 40% chance to find glowberries in your chest. So make sure to go to the mineshaft, get your glowberries, and we'll be on our way. Let's go back and let's talk about axolotls. Here we have the axolotl. These cute little creatures are one of the new animals in 1.17. These can help you fight off mobs, and they're just so cute. Just look at the little faces. These mobs can be found in oceans and bodies of water. You then pick them up in a bucket of axolotl. This means that you've tamed the axolotl. You can then drop them back in the water, like so. Again, I'm in creative, so in survival, I'll demonstrate now. The axolotl will go away, and then you pick up your axolotl eventually. Like that. And you put it down, pick up water, pick up the axolotl. It's that simple. Now that we've covered the axolotl, let's move on to Deep Slate. That's exciting. Here we have Deep Slate. This new block can be found in patches under y=16, and in the 1.18 update will be able to be found under y0 to -y64. This block is a little bit harder than stone when it comes to mining it. And you can also create different variations of the stone, like this. My personal favorite is the bricked variants, like the bricked, not the cracked brick though, it looks a little old. But I just like these different variations of the blocks. And these can be found in small patches under y=16, and turn into cobbled deep slate unless you mine them with silk touch, then you get deep slate. Now that we've done that, let's move on to the drip leaf. Exciting. Here we have the drip leaf. This new, I guess you could say, plant. I guess it's a plant. Can be found in your worlds, and when you stand on them, will slowly kick you off. And you cannot stay on them until they return to their normal state, like so. You can walk on them, but don't stand on too long or else you'll go down. This is a very cool feature, great for parkour. And it also comes in the small drip leaf. Unless you bone meal it, it'll turn into a big drip leaf. Now that we've covered drip leaves, let's move on to the glow squid. Here we have the glow squid. This is the worst mob addition to the 1.17 update in my opinion, because we could have had the Axolotl. I will not blow out your ears anymore, but we could have had the Axolotl. But one of our Minecraft creators decided to rig the whole system and forced everyone to vote glow squid. So now we have this stupid little creature here. But its features are pretty cool. You get glow squid ink, and then you can use this on signs to make the sign glow in the dark. And you also can make the glow item frame, which glows in the dark, and it looks like this. Lovely. Now this is the glow squid. It's not that cool of a creature, it's just a reskin squid. But now let's move on to dripstone. Dripstone. This is actually one of my favorite features. Here we have dripstone. This little dripstone can be crafted into dripstone blocks with 4 pointed dripstone like so. And then you can craft the dripstone block. And this is also very important because this is the first time you can have renewable lava in the game. Very important. So what happens is you put a lava source above. As you can see, there's a lava source. It'll come up here and it'll drip through the dripstone, drip into a cauldron, and if I change the tick speed, this lava bucket will eventually fill up from the lava drips. There you go. So this is the first renewable lava. As you can see, lava's still up there, but now we have another lava. Just gonna change to normal tick speed. That is a very cool feature. Now that we've covered that, I'm gonna show you where you can find these in a cave. This is the current way to find dripstone in Minecraft. They come in little patches in caves. Again, this is a normal pre-1.17 cave. There's no new caves yet, that's 1.18. But you find these little dripstone patches, and then you can mine the dripstone and the dripstone blocks, and then you can use the dripstone to make infinite lava and all that fun stuff. This is most definitely my new favorite feature of 1.17. I just love the fact that we can actually have unlimited lava. It's really good. Lava is a great fuel source for furnaces. And I'll guarantee you, keep an eye out, because I'm going to be uploading a series on how to make a lava farm. That will be fun. Keep an eye out for that. But now that we've finished the drip leaves, not the dripstone, my god. We're going to move on to, I don't know what's next. There's a lot of features and you can forget about them. So let's see what's next. Yes, next we have glow lichen and hanging roots. These can be found in caves. The glow lichen give off a light level of 1. And then you also have the hanging roots, which can be good, which can be crafted later. We'll talk about that a bit later. But you have the hanging roots, the glow lichen. These are just found in caves, and they're just a cool addition to the game. Now that we've covered glow lichen and hanging roots, a small feature, let's move on to moss. Now here we have moss. We have two variations of moss. We have moss and moss carpet. Now to get moss right now, you have to find a shipwreck chest and go into the shipwreck chest and get moss. And then once you get a piece of moss, you can grab bone meal. I don't know why I don't have bone meal. You can grab bone meal, come up to the moss block, bone meal it, and you get many different features. You can keep bone mealing too. But we have some azaleas, some grass, which is not important. Get rid of that. And then azaleas can also spawn on the edge as well as moss carpet. This is a really cool addition to the game and can be used to cover up lights a lot better than green carpet. Again, now that we've covered moss and moss carpet, let's move on to the dirt. We have a new dirt variant. Let's check that out. Here we have rooted dirt. Rooted dirt is how you get hanging roots. If I take my bone meal and then I bone meal the dirt, you get hanging roots. And you can use these roots in decorations, many different things. It's really cool. But these roots can be found using rooted dirt. And then once you bone meal the rooted dirt, you can get different hanging roots. And then you can use those different hanging roots for decorations. Now that we've done that, let's move on to powder snow. Here we have powder snow. Powder snow can be collected in a cauldron when it snows. And then, please hold. You can collect that powder snow and place it down. Once you've put down your powder snow, again, 1 per bucket, and you walk through the powder snow, you slow down, and you start to freeze. That's what this overlay on the side of my screen is. We are starting to freeze. This will cause you to lose damage in survival mode, so be careful about this. And the world starts to turn purple. Let's move on to goats. Here we have the goat. The goat is a semi-aggressive mob, which will suddenly target many different mobs, and will also scream. There's a screaming goat variant. It will sometimes charge at different mobs, and then cause those mobs to go flying. The goat is... there it goes! The goat will also jump, and will attack certain mobs, including aggressive mobs. So we could make farms out of these goats. Hi. But now that we've done the goat, let's move on to Tinted Glass, one of my favorite features. Here we have Tinted Glass. Now, Tinted Glass keeps all light out, so when you close up, you can't see any light from outside, or if you're outside, you can't see any light from inside. I have night vision. I'm not going to take off night vision, but this is basically what it looks like right now. It's a very cool feature, and can be used to keep light inside in many farms, so you can now look inside farms that need light levels of 0. That is very cool. So now that we've done that, let's move on to the Spyglass. Here we have the Spyglass. The Spyglass is basically Optifine Zoom in Minecraft officially, without the need to Optifine. It has a nice sound, listen. And this gives you the ability to look around. Again, you can get rid of the overlay if you press F1. But in my opinion, Optifine Zoom is way better. And then finally, behind me, I'm not going to pan to this, we have the lightning rod. The lightning rod can give out a redstone output and will attract lightning to keep all your builds safe. This is a very useful feature to keep your build safe, and will keep your buildings from going on fire. And you can also make farms, like a charged creeper farm out of this. I might make a video about a charged creeper farm, but basically, this is pretty cool. Now, one thing I didn't include here is a new feature. This is the only change I'm going to do. I mainly wanted to focus on new features, not changes. But with shulkers, if a shulker hits another shulker, there's a chance that a shulker will duplicate itself. So that gives us the chance to have shulk with shell farms, which I most definitely am going to make a video on at some point. So that's 1.17. In my opinion, it's the worst game version that Minecraft's ever put on, other than Buzzy Bees. Buzzy Bees was pretty bad. As of, like, current times, again, 1.10, 1.11, those were pretty bad too. But the fact that they split up the cave update, it's not my favorite, but we still have a new update, and that's exciting. So, yeah, I hope you all are enjoying your new Minecraft update. I hope this video helped you. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more Minecraft content. And yeah, I'm the Mouse Kid. It's been wonderful, and I'll see you real soon. Goodbye, everybody.